Well, hello there, Lone. How are you doing this fine Wednesday?
Oh, good day.
Indeed, indeed.
It's been a busy one actually. I've we started streaming earlier today. It's been a day off. We got a
Yes.
shiny. We hit the shiny on the hunt. We completed the run back to master rank for this month, so we're at the peak of the game again.
So does it
And then
reset every month?
yeah, every month's like a season.
Oh, I
Not
see. Right.
You've got seasons and you've got CVs. So CVs are different rule sets that you play in. Seasons are just like it's a ladder refresh every month.
Hmm.
It's not like a full refresh in that everyone goes to zero. Basically, whatever rank you're in, you get thrown 3 divisions low. So everyone who was master starts from the top division in Great Ball rank,
Right.
and then you've got to climb your way back up. Which we started a journey on Monday. We completed it today.
Oh, that's good.
I mean,
God.
it was fine. Like I've done it a lot. I've done it a lot quicker before. Like it took 21 games for me to get back to Master Ball this time. My best is that I've done it in like 7.
I think
So
my next journey when I have fully recovered. So obviously I didn't stream yesterday because I was a sick boy.
mm,
And today my head is a wee bit foggy. So luckily this stream isn't too long and should be quite chilled.
no,
But my next thing will be the Sherlock Holmes games. I personally love the Sherlock Holmes games.
very guilty pleasure, right?
Yes, they are definitely my guilty pleasure. So normally the Sherlock Holmes games don't really do very well, and like after a couple of months, they go on a sale, which is ridiculous.
Mm.
Finally, this new one has come on a sale, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll do this. Maybe I'll get Mike on, maybe I'll get Ethan on. We'll see who is my Watson and comes on this journey with me. They're very niche, but they're very fun.
Who even makes these games? They don't seem like
Frogware.
do they do anything else? Because the way you describe the franchise of games makes it sound like it's not very financially stable.
It's very hard to say what else. Do you want to know what else they do, Lon?
Go on.
Journey to the Heart of Gaia.
No.
I don't know what that is.
I feel like I might have heard of it.
Dracula Love Kills.
Right.
It's one of those. It's one of those games, Lone, where you find an item. Find item games.
What? I mean, not by that name. Like, what are you getting at?
So the idea is it's just find a pen, find a pineapple. What's in this mess? Where's the pineapple?
Is it literally like a kid's? It's a Where's Wally?
Kind of, yeah. There's loads of those kinds of shovelware kind of things.
Okay.
And they've made a lot of those. The only notable game that I can see other than their Sherlock Holmes games is The Sinking City. Which is Cthulhu-esque.
Fair enough. I think I might have seen that game actually. I think I've seen a playthrough with that. It's just how on earth did they afford the license for Sherlock Holmes?
I'll tell you right now, Lord. I went to the my voice reels for my voice acting. I had them done at the company that made that does all the voice work for the Sherlock Holmes games and audio.
Right. Okay.
Very small little niche place in London.
Interesting crossover.
But yes, we'll be doing that, and then at some point we'll be doing some Ace Attorney.
What? Yes, yeah. At some point we will. Yeah, I definitely do want to do it. Like the game has been purchased, so that's the hard part done. We just got to get it all scheduled in an appropriate place. But have you played the Ace Attorney games before?
I only played a little bit of the first one at your recommendation. Other than that, not touched it.
Like they're honestly phenomenal games. Like in terms of visual novel, but also like just puzzle games and mystery games. Like I stand them. I am so hyped for any kind of Ace Attorney games.
I definitely did the first case. After that, everything will be a mystery, and then obviously you'll know. But obviously, I'll be like, I bet you him's the killer or they're the killer. You know what I mean?
A lot of the times, I know that some cases it almost gets kind of obvious, and it gets to a point of like, oh, you've just got to pin it. But no, that they're actually quite cerebral. I wonder. I'm just trying to think what version of the first game is in the compilation that I bought, because they were originally GBA games.
Yes.
But when they got remastered for the DS, they added a special extra case into the first game, and my God, it was solid. It was actually insane. Or at least that's how my memory goes. Who knows? Maybe it's with a more mature brain, I go at it differently, and maybe he's puncture it. But I'm pretty sure Evan's played them as well. He would agree. I'm 9 out of 10 sure, or one would say 90%. 90% sure that he would agree with that one.
It'll be fun when we do it. We'll have to select our characters that we voice, but that is for a different day, because today is Weird News Loan, and as is tradition, Loan, is this picture CGI?
I don't believe so.
You're correct. It's just a picture, and the reason I have included it now, I was going to do the updates first, but I think we'll start off with a really big story from the UK.
Sure.
And that is, how often do you change your bedsheets? So it seems that single men admit to not washing their bedsheets for up to 4 months at a time.
No, that's a bit grody.
I know.
I mean, it's just a comfort thing. I'll be honest. If you want some actual honesty, I don't keep to any type of Ironcast schedule in terms of bed sheets changes. I basically go by feel. Because it does get to a point where I can feel that the bed's just not fresh anymore.
I so in the article it shows it does gender specific. So I seem to
Uh-huh.
fall within the female metric. So normally around 2 weeks, the 2 week
Mm.
mark is on average. So what they were saying was most men, single men, some say they will do up to 4 months, some even longer because they air quotes forget.
Yep.
But
I just
the metric that they seem to have devised is that single men will do it really long. Women most likely will do it every 2 weeks, and couples are every 3 weeks.
Yep. I don't know. I don't know even know where I fall. I couldn't actually tell you. But it is entirely a feel thing. As soon as I feel that the bed's like a little bit grody, then honestly, because I feel like it's how airy the bed is.
Yeah.
Because at some point you just like without making it sound grosser than what it looks, it's like it gets gunky. Like you
Mm,
whatever
yum.
whatever sweat and skin particles are going off in there,
Yeah.
it's eventually gonna like work its way into the fabric, and the fabric's
No.
gonna breathe less. Like that's the thing. That's the bed like legitimately will make you sweat more.
Uh,
The more
so because
the
this
longer it
article is
goes.
done within the UK, like well, when Hannes is next on Discord, I'll have to ask him about this to see like what the metric is for Sweden, and obviously Kevin, venturing off around Europe. So we'll have to wait until he eventually returns to the Discord.
Mm, indeed.
But Lone, let's cover some stories we've previously covered. Now, we talked about Megan Fox and this Mr. Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh God, not again.
Well, Lone,
I saw. Oh, hang a minute, hang a minute. Oh, because I think I know why you're going to mention it. Because I think I
there's two
read an
stories.
article. There was an article on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Don't look at the screen, Lone. Whatever you do.
no, I can't remember. Was that the one? Was that the one we already discussed?
So the first little
I saw another one.
yes, there is another one. So the first little update, because this is very close to the other one, a real life vampire organizations, which is apparently a thing,
Right.
urge
Okay.
caution against the public drinking of blood.
Yeah, of course, because it's almost as if like it's a fucking
So
medical
so Megan
medical
Megan
emergency.
Fox says she's not as into it as he is. Um, apparently he's a lot more engaged in that practice. She'll only do a few drops.
Oh well, that's all right
It's like sugar in your tea.
then. Oh God, yeah, no, it's horrendous, man. The amount of like diseases that could potentially be transmitted, like due to stuff like that's insane.
Like, I feel like this Machine Gun Kelly person, like, because he's into, this stuff, I feel like he just hasn't aged out of his goth phase.
Aye, but then you've got the other side of things, which I think is the other story. Is didn't Megan Fox say that she thinks she manifested him?
Yes, and that
Like,
is the update. I was just like, Lorne, this is so fucking bizarre. Yes, so you're correct. So, due to the 4 year difference in their ages,
hmm
um, Megan Fox believes that she manifested Machine Gun Kelly out of her imagination, as Machine Gun Kelly apparently is her perfect type in every way ever since she was 4. And because she's now into spiritualism, she truly believes she has manifested this individual out of her mind.
you're insane. And do you know what the thing that blows my mind about all this, and honestly, this isn't to say like anything's wrong. Like it's people are different, and people are allowed to have different thoughts, different beliefs, and
Mm.
different ways that they act. It's fine. But I'm just remembering to the first time I would have been exposed to Megan Fox. And it
I
was
guess
in
Transformers.
yeah, she was the bombshell. She was the bombshell mechanic babe out of Transformers.
Mm.
It's like, and now all these years later, were reading articles about how she believed she manifested her lover at the age of 4 and now drinks his blood.
Does Fry mean our beautiful Kevin?
Oh.
Kevin has been manifested through Fry's mind.
I mean, perhaps. I don't know. I'm not a spiritualist, you see. I don't understand these
Like,
things.
it's so weird. Like, obviously there's the Johnny Depp stuff, there's this. I feel like celebrities like got so stuck with lockdown, they went a bit bananas. I mean, to be fair, like lately I've been doing like really stupid like little small shorts on YouTube. And I did upload one to Twitter actually.
Oh?
Did you see it? It was how to
No, I
pronounce
don't think so.
pancakes correctly.
No, I think
So I made some pancakes.
Skip me bad.
I made some pancakes, and I thought, you know what, I will do a stupid video, and I panned the camera to the pancakes and said, pancakes. That's it. How many views did you think my little stupid video, which I did in the midst of sickness and madness, got on YouTube?
Well, so you put it in as a short, right? You
Yeah,
did like
did it as
hashtag
short.
shorts. Okay, go on. I can't possibly guess because the algorithm's like fucking bananas.
At 2.4K.
Jesus Christ.
2.4k people have seen me yell pancakes like an idiot in delirium.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Grey's got like one of their shorts like popped off in the algorithm.
Well, it's not a short. It's their Lenny Boog speed run, which
No,
is
no,
4K.
Oh yeah, but they've also been doing like other stuff. Like I'm actually curious. I've got this screen open now. Yeah, they've got a short, which is like not quite as much as in the thousands, but with like over 500 views compared to others, which like stagnated at 19. Like the algorithm behind shorts is actually insane.
It's very bizarre. I have no idea. Like I because I've with YouTube I'm uploading most of the VODs from Twitch onto the YouTube, and then just doing whatever I want really. And I'll do it on YouTube as well. Obviously I've now got a Discord, but most of the time I'll, say stuff if I want to on Twitter. But yes, Lone, let us move to video games and robotics.
Sure, why not?
So, you know the company Square Enix?
I do, yes.
Made many games such as Nier Automata, they made Final Fantasy. They're behind quite a lot.
Yeah.
Well, Square Enix's president reiterates his desire to make a play-to-earn blockchain game.
Oh, I know. The Square Enix have been hitting a lot of news lately. And this is obviously one side of it. Like, he's all for it.
Yes.
And meanwhile, you've got the devs or the people behind Final Fantasy 14 are like trying to reassure the players, saying there's never going to be NFTs here.
Well, Lone. So obviously this is a thing people want to do. Well, this guy wants to do. No one really cares. But there is a Final Fantasy 14 story, and I was going to bring it up later, but I'll move it forward. And I think this is not going to happen. So one of the producers of Final Fantasy 14 asks players specifically to stop saying "nice job" to opponents and setting off fireworks on their bodies.
Why is it?
So there's new raids, and there's new players coming in. Obviously they might I knocked my desk. There might be, new players coming in. And obviously with new players, they may make mistakes because obviously they don't know the new stuff. So he's asking people in the Final Fantasy XIV community not to troll and trigger new players.
I mean, that's fair, right?
It's like fair, but I don't think this person knows the internet.
I know, but it's also like it's still their responsibility to say something if they're upset with the practice. Like I'm all for it. Like if I was in a position, if I had made a game, and I was the person and the name behind it, and I knew that some potentially new players were walking away from it because people were being arseholes, then I'd hope I'd say something. I'd hope I'd actually voice the concern and say, hey, you're all pricks. Stop being pricks.
Yeah. I mean, I really hope, they do listen to this person's advice and, get on with their fellow players. But I do feel like he doesn't understand the internet, because when a person like this states don't do it, spoilers, the internet will do it.
Well, this is the thing. It's like, if it keeps on happening and it literally is hurting the influx of new players, then they'll end up just like disabling emotes from raids.
Yeah, most likely. Well, no, they're spamming nice job, and the fireworks, I believe, is an item.
Yeah. So it's basically it's taking the piss. It's like, oh, like it's toxic positivity, really.
Yes, it is. It's like when someone is overly happy. We had a person like that in university who was just like, oh, thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. It's like, we can tell.
Well, it's my closest example is probably Splatoon, because obviously being a Nintendo property, they don't offer too much in the way of like communication online. Which I think it's a breath of fresh air, to be honest, on some games. But they do have like the booyah shout out, which is usually good, like the booyah.
Oh, booyah.
Booyah.
Booyah. It's like, what is booyah?
I was just putting a bit of a spin on it. But yeah, it's like positive affirmation, like, yeah, go on. And honestly, the community loves it. Like, the community runs with it, and it generally is a good thing. But it is also just something there which you could spam just to show any kind of like frustration.
It happens in a variety of games. I don't think this will change. I mean, good on him, but I don't think it'll change. But obviously, Lorne, Japan makes a lot of anime, a lot of wild stuff. And when you think of anime, you think of giant robots, don't you?
I'm not
the answer
really
is
a mech
yes.
Fan, but
because a Japanese railway company is using a giant humanoid robot to fix its power lines.
Why not?
Just so you know, this is deceptive imagery.
So, I mean, like, it's... How is it deceptive?
Have you seen how they framed it?
Yeah, it looks nowhere near the power line.
No, it's that they've cut off the body. So if you, like, when the image loads, you'll see how it's deceptive. The top part is humanoid, the rest of it is a train.
Oh. Right, okay.
So the person puts on goggles, and
it's still humanoid in the way that, like, it's got
the top part
got a pair of limbs. It's got a pair of limbs, and it's almost got a head with where the camera is.
Yes, it's just deceptive in the way they framed the picture. But yes, the idea is that the person puts on a headset, and uses the robot, like, mimics the robot and how it does, and fixes the power lines, which it is pretty good.
It is, man. And once again, it's just Japan once again showing how, like, futuristic they can be. Yet, with my prior knowledge, I know how non-futuristic certain other things are. I feel like it's probably unfair. I presume every culture's got certain things going really well, and others which are like,
I mean, yeah,
come on, catch up.
Yeah, it's the same with us as well. Same with us. Same with America. Same with every country. All countries believe that they are developed until they realize they aren't. You know who's got it right, Lorne?
Who's that?
The Sentinelese.
The what, sorry?
The Sentinelese, they're the people who don't have any interaction with the outside world. They, like, anytime they see, like, a boat, they throw spears at it. They've lived in isolation from the world.
Fair enough.
I believe we covered a look at their island, because, like, not too long ago, around pandemic time, a American Christian went to the island to bring Jesus to them. And surprisingly, they killed and ate him.
Yep. Why is it always cannibalism, man?
It's just your basic cannibalism, Lord.
It's
It's just your
just
basic cannibalism.
there's always a story about cannibalism when it comes to primitive humans.
I mean, to be fair, Megan Fox is only a few steps away.
Yeah, fair enough.
See, we're devolving, Lon.
Ugh,
Right,
yeah.
more gamer news, Lon. Meet the Game FAQ's user who's created 3,700 game maps and counting in MS Paint. So he started this 20 years ago.
Right.
And he's still making maps in MS Paint. Like, simplistic maps, but they work.
I mean, they work. Like, they actually...
they work, and, like, you can see, like, you can be like, oh, that is, that's the rough approximation of, Ganon's castle. I assume Ganon has a castle. You can tell I've never played Zelda.
I mean,
Ethan would punch me.
Trying to think, is that not meant to be Link to the Past?
It could be. It very easily could be. Starfighter 76? No, that's the image credit. God knows. That's who created it. I don't know what that map is. It could be. But yeah,
it's very rough, but like it could potentially.
Oh. Link's Awakening, Lon. That's what the map is.
Oh, right. I've not played it, so wasn't too far off.
Link's Awakening. So as you can see, these are the maps that they create. They're pretty good, honestly.
I mean, it's cool. It's just a little bit of like. It's just. I mean, like it's obviously just a hobby, right? It has to be.
It is just a hobby, yeah. But like if you found something you love, keep it up. Good for this person.
Yeah, it's fair.
Now,
you know what? More power to them.
Now, Lorne, I don't know, in Pokemon, obviously you play the professional scene. Have you noticed any cheating?
The closest it's ever got to cheating is I think there has in the past been exploits to force a disconnection in your favor.
Oh, interesting.
So to like, I don't know. It was either to force a disconnection and take a win, or to force a disconnection and not take the loss.
The penalty, I see.
Yeah. But it's rare. It's rare. I think the other thing about cheating is that the most recent online competitions, it's the Japanese players who have been involved were actually playing to for placements in their national tournament.
Oh, okay.
So it meant a lot more to them than it would, say, to like me.
Yes.
And apparently they've been found guilty. Not that anything can really be done about it, because how do you govern it? But a lot of them were found to be in the same forum and organizing match fixing, essentially.
Yeah, that happens with like tournaments and things of that nature.
It's because it's online ladder, so all it takes is two people who are queuing at the same time, puts them together, and if you just so happen to match somebody with somebody who you're speaking to in the forum, you can see, hey, I'm getting close to this position, just forfeit the game, and stuff like that.
The reason I mention it, Lorne, is because obviously games like Call of Duty, for example, have rampant cheating. Normally a first-person shooter will have rampant cheating.
Yes.
And they've decided to do an interesting thing to cheaters. Okay. So Call of Duty's new anti-cheat tools make legit players invisible to cheaters.
Huh.
So
right, okay.
If you're not a cheater, you are completely invisible to a cheater.
This is quite crazy, though, because it means that they've identified the cheater. However, they've not took them out the game. They've just skewed the favors.
It's strange, yeah. I mean, I guess the idea is that,
keep them around so they still
keep them around so they don't. Well, keep them around so they don't make an alt account.
I guess.
Because then, you'll still see other cheaters, and if they're if there's so many cheats, let's say there's so many cheaters in this game, if there's so many that they're still seeing players, they may not be any the wiser.
Yeah. I mean, they will eventually, because there'll be a point where somebody gets like knifed in the face, and they'll see the kill cam, and they're just like, "What the fuck?"
That'll be so funny though. Like, imagine if it's like a big streamer as well.
Honestly, you know what? That's actually interesting, because that's probably the usage case, right?
Mm.
Is that for anyone who's cheating on stream, they're not going to be told, "We know you're a cheater, get out," so they can
Yeah.
then save face. They're gonna be exposed by dying and then watching the kill cams.
Yeah, it's going to be so funny. Like, if they're a cheater, let's say they're hiding at the building and they're just like, God, I'm hiding behind this cover. And, like, the person, a legit player, is right beside them, staring at them, or following them. They could easily follow a person unaware.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
a door can swing open, they're like, what's that door? Is there a ghost?
well, it's interesting, because we covered, so in the show that in the Sunday show, the bi-weekly one, the Yags podcast, we covered a story about a Call of Duty cheater who like basically streamed themselves cheating. Like, and I don't mean like, oh, it was their live camera. I was like, no, they put a camera to watch their monitor to prove that they weren't cheating.
Yeah, well, we covered
But
that
they
on
were
We Had News
cheating.
Loan as well.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, we did.
Oh well, it
I
was
was
more recently. I think we did it on
Yeah, we
on
covered it
yes,
a
because we
few.
because we
We covered it a while ago. We were
that's
talking about how they wanted to prove that they weren't a cheater, and then they got caught cheating.
yeah, because well, we went a little bit deeper and got their statement, which was the worst grammatical monstrosity I've ever seen in my life.
Mm,
Um, but basically the gist of it was that he couldn't believe that he actually cheated.
yes.
It's like, I can't believe this has actually happened. I'm
Well,
just like, yeah.
speaking of transcripts and things, recently they've released the transcript of. Do you remember those two police officers that went looking for Snorlax instead of answering the call?
Oh shit, yes.
Because obviously their in-car camera was still recording audio. So they've recorded their audio. It's like, oh my god, it's a Snorlax. So stupid. They're just going, oh yeah, we could probably, go and get a Snorlax, and then everyone at the station will be so jealous. Like, one of these people were like a cop for 8 years or 18 years or something ridiculous. And he was just like, yeah, I'm ready to go now that I've caught the Snorlax.
Yeah, imagine. All that tenure gone on a Snorlax. I
I
find
mean,
it so weird as well, because the game has been out for so long at this point that anyone who's been an avid player or even is probably got the Snorlax by now.
well, you know what they stated? Why they couldn't be playing it even though they have audio.
Yeah.
And they have audio transcripts, like guaranteeing they played it. They said they couldn't be playing it because they were in a car.
I mean, I see where they're coming from, because like obviously
Yes.
it's still bullshit, because
No, it is bullshit.
because the game's meant to like give you a pop-up saying, "Whoa, you're moving fast." It's like, are you sure you're not driving? But you can just dismiss it and say like, "No, I'm on the bus."
Yeah, like the whole thing is they were like, oh, it's a game for walking, so we couldn't have done it because we're in a car. But Loan, let's go back to Call of Duty, because you guess who's in Call of Duty?
Um, is it the fucking what do you call it? The Fortnite guy?
No, it's
He made it in a Call of Duty.
It's Mr. the Snoop Dogg.
Whoa.
So yeah, Mr. Snoop Dogg, just going around World War II, going around Warzone, just feeling very out of place.
Yeah,
as a playable character. Like he hits some bad guys over the head with the bottle, and it's like, okay.
I find it's like, honestly, I let this be prefaced with that I have no idea about the actual allegation or case against him. But I know that a lot of people have been questioning how Snoop Dogg has been involved in so many things lately, like commercially. despite ongoing allegations about sexual assault.
Oh God, I haven't even thought about that. Lord, I didn't even know about that.
I mean, like I say, I want to preface it with that I know nothing. Like, I am not coming from a place of the know.
He has been in a lot of
Um,
stuff. I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, people seem to like Snoop Dogg. I
I mean,
don't
yeah,
know enough about it about any legal matters. So God knows.
yeah, it's just like I say, like it's just something that's caught that's I thought of in passing because I do know he's been quite active lately,
Mm,
and obviously beyond any allegations, he is held in good favor.
yeah.
I've certainly not had a reason to dislike him, but apparently there has been discussion that no kind of company with him on the payroll is taking the allegations like seriously. Like in
Well, maybe
contrast to
God
say
knows.
how like I know Disney dropped Depp.
Yes,
Um,
yeah. After the trial, I mean, loads of people are keeping up with that trial. I've not really delved into it just because I don't know them personally, and it's just too insane. I was going to include a story today. Um, so one of the people who were on the trial, um, is taking his court appearance via a video call, and he's in his car. He says he can't do it because he has anxiety, which I get. But then
uh,
he's just like taking hits of his vape and blowing it into the camera. And then like when he starts finishing off his statement, he doesn't even put his seatbelt on. He just drives away, then signs out.
right,
And he's
okay.
in a car, and you can see all the background moving. So he's moving. He hasn't got a seatbelt on, and the judge just sits there and just went, "Well, this is a first." Like the fuck.
Hmm.
Lon,
It is a wacky case.
you know when you go on holiday,
Yes.
don't you just want to take your PlayStation with you?
No, I've got a Switch.
Well, if you did want to take your PlayStation with you, don't take it to Boston, because a PlayStation, a damaged PlayStation, by the way,
Uh,
um, causes a bomb scare threat and evacuation at Boston Airport. So it was essentially like a really beat up, like black piece of technology. Left alone, looks kind of scary. Could mean anything.
I mean, it's just why. How is it? So was it left just a naked PS5 out in the open?
Yes.
So it wasn't in a bag or anything.
Cause mistaken identity. Yeah. Set off alarms.
That's still so
It.
weird.
This isn't even the weirdest bomb scare thing, Lorne. This was the last of the gaming stories. Like, this isn't the only bomb scare threat. So, Lone, if you went to, let's say, rural France, where
Uh-huh.
there's still old school war ammunition left,
Uh-huh.
and then you wanted to fly back to the UK, you're not going to take a fucking shell back. So,
No, you'd think not.
yeah, this wasn't in the south of France. Panic at the Israeli airport as a US family packs an unexploded bombshell for a flight back home as a souvenir.
Surely an unexploded bombshell would also be like property of the state as like a historical piece.
No, not if they're just found. Like, there's loads of stuff that's found in like France that are unexploded shells, that are extremely deadly, and yeah, they're still around, and you can easily just find them.
So
You can
this
find
was a
loads of.
shell that was actually shot. You'd saying this was a dud, or
It
it
was
was
yes, it
just
was a
it
dud.
was
It was
just
unexploded. The
leftover
the
ammunition.
explosive material is still within the shell. It can
Yes.
still go off.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. Because if it was just unused ammunition, well, you've got to think to yourself that the unused ammunition you would hope is still safe to move
Yes.
because it's got to move in the first place.
Yeah, this is an
But yeah,
unexploded
if it was a
it's an
dud,
unexploded bombshell that they found and were just like, this is cool. I'll take it home on a plane.
yeah, no,
It's a bit stupid.
bit sus.
What do you know where? So right, so this is some history. Right, history class, Lorne. Do you know where the UK dumped loads of its unexploded ordnance after the war?
Not exactly. No.
So there's been like ideas about building a bridge from Scotland to Ireland
Uh-huh.
and building an underground tunnel. And that would be great because then it would save transport links. It would be amazing to have a bridge between the bulk of the UK and Ireland.
Uh-huh.
The downside is the planned bridge area, there is a big trench, an extremely deep trench, in between Ireland and the UK, where the bridge would most likely have to go. And in that trench, which is extremely deep, is all the unexploded World War II ordnance.
Wonderful. Well, surely it wouldn't explode now because it'll be
No.
wet. The gunpowder will be wet.
No, that's not how ordnance works, Lorne. There is a ship that is tipped over and full of ammunition off the coast of the UK. And it's been there since the war. And it's been left because it's been tipped over, they can't go in and check and remove the stuff. There's a chance the whole thing could go.
Surely at this point, you would just have to trigger the explosion. You would have to clear the site and just actually blow it up.
Like normally, like that's kind of what people do because it's easier and safer to kind of just blow the damn thing up. But the thing is, it can be set off just by the slightest vibration because obviously it's old, it's rusted. It can go bang at any point.
Yeah, so they should clear the area and blow it up.
It's a strange thing.
That's what I would like suggest as somebody who obviously doesn't know what they're talking about.
But Lone, this isn't even the only explosive story we've got.
Oh.
Because over in America, let's say, this family managed to get back home on time. Well, obviously, this family, they may have a child at school. Maybe that child lives in Florida. And obviously, not Florida man, but Florida mom. Florida mom threatens to blow up a school because son wasn't fed enough at cafeteria, officials say.
What do you mean fed enough?
She left a voicemail saying that he wasn't fed enough.
But what what is enough?
So her son came home and told her, I'm still hungry. She's like, are the school not feeding you? And she's like, well, not that much. And she was like, oh, well, you're not feeding my son enough. I'm going to blow up your school.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's honestly probably not how you want to preface your argument.
Ma, Cletus needs 2 pizzas a day. It is very, very strange. I mean, I guess it is the idea that, like, maybe it's like, a school meal that you've, as a parent, you've prepaid for. So having your child come home stating that they're hungry, maybe they were just like, tensions were high and the threat was carried out.
So apparently her sister is disputing that account.
Yes, that is correct.
But isn't there a voicemail?
Yes, there is a voicemail. Yes, there is a voicemail. Because obviously, if you're threatening to blow someone up, it is a crime.
Yes, it is a death threat.
Well,
it's also threatening a bomb scare at a public
school
place. Yes.
Yeah, an American school, which normally, bit crazy as is. This is a bit worse. But Lone, that's not even the only threat that's going around.
Oh dear, everyone's popping off.
Lone, could you Google for me? Could you go to the Merriam-Webster's definition for the word woman?
What, Merriam-Webster?
Yeah, Merriam-Webster. It's the dictionary. Merriam-Webster. So obviously we use
Um,
like Oxford. But
and you want me to search woman?
Yes. Could you tell me the Merriam-Webster's definition for the word woman?
Okay. So, definitions of woman: 1A, an adult female person; 1B, a woman belonging to a particular category as a birth, residence, membership, or occupation, usually used in combination. They give like the idea as councilwoman. 2,
Does
womankind. 3, distinctively female nature, womanliness.
does it state anything in there in regards to stating that woman or female, for example, is a gender identity?
Uh, Not in so many words, I don't think.
Well, maybe we'll go into it a bit more detail because a man was arrested for allegedly threatening Merriam-Webster over the definition of female. So not woman. I apologize if you go to the word
You
female.
silly goose! I've been
I'm doing it wrong.
bamboozled.
But yes, the idea was this man was so enraged at the fact that the definition stated that it was a gender identity. This triggered them so much. He was just like, "How dare you?" This person was very, very aggressive.
Yeah.
He threatened to kill its employees over the dictionary publisher's definition of woman.
What an oddball! I just don't understand. Like, what? How many like just human morals are you willing to throw to the wayside just because you disagree
One word.
with just like one word and its definition?
It's like Lorne. What if I like? It really feels like they could get annoyed about anything. It's like if I went Vaseline. It's like, wow, how dare you describe Vaseline as something that you use on your lips?
True.
Like shit like that. But
Yeah, no, it's just like it's. Unfortunately, we're just gonna keep getting people like this. Hopefully, it gets rarer and rarer, but this people be cree.
well, Lorne, we'll stay with America because surprisingly, a lot of weird shit has happened in America. But obviously we had beautiful Metroland years ago, Lorne. Do you remember it, Lorne?
I do. I
You
remember
know,
Metroland.
there was theme parks, there was food, fun things together, all in a shopping centre. Well, Lorne,
Mm-hmm.
America's thought of something different, and that is, have you ever heard the term "eat lead"?
Usually when somebody's about to shoot you in the face, right?
Yes. Well, Lorne, now you can quite literally eat lead because there is a gun range and restaurant concept under one roof in Lakewood.
I mean, is crazy as it is to just like say it in plain English. I mean, like it depends how integrated it is.
Like
But
literally,
the
that is the
idea.
other side of the window where people are eating.
Okay, that's stupid. Like, because it would be fair enough to have like a
You'd
gun
assume it's
range, and then you
bulletproof.
walk like X amount of yards to like the entrance to the site, and then there's a little cafe you can sit down in.
Yeah.
Like just like anything else, but to kind of integrate it into like a fun family day out, it's like shoot Annie's, and I'm just like, why?
just there's just kids, enjoying ice cream, and then just like, haha, that guy missed with his gun. You'd have to hope
Yeah.
he doesn't hear you.
Well, I mean, if it's bulletproof glass, I would hope it's soundproof. Or at
Yeah.
least like getting
I mean,
there.
also they'd probably be wearing headphones. I say I'd assume they'd be wearing headphones, like it's a safety procedure, but maybe they don't. we don't do guns.
No, I think it's like practice to do so because you'll end up like deafening yourself. Um, but especially if they have integrated this into a business, they're giving any benefit of the doubts just because it exists is that they're probably taking precautions.
Mm.
But having it all under the same roof and just separated by a glass
Glass.
wall is it's just why, man? This
I
was
don't
just
know.
unnecessary.
It's very American. It's
It
very
is
American.
very.
Well,
Uh,
Lone, if I said to you, I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse, and then you refuse it, and I say to you this phrase, you're gonna be sleeping with the fishes. What have I done
uh,
to you?
you threatened me.
Yes, I have. But when I say the phrase, you're going to be sleeping with the fishes, it normally means, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna kill you.
Yes.
And obviously, on climate change, when people were getting dunked in concrete in the bottom of the bay, with climate change evaporating water, bodies from the 80s that have been found in oil drums are now coming up to the surface.
Oh dear.
So now,
Oh no.
so now, if you want to quite literally make your enemies sleep with the fish, you now need to go out in a boat and put it much further into the river and pray it
Yeah.
doesn't wash up, or climate change gets worse.
Well, the crazy thing is that now that they've found the body, the local authorities will probably reopen a case.
Yes, yeah.
Um.
Well, there was another story. So there was under a person's house, 150 human skulls were found.
In the one person's house, like, what are we talking about under? Like,
Under, like deep underneath, like buried under. There was like an underground like cavern.
okay, what accessible by themselves or just
No,
like
they had
from
to
a?
get it. They fell into it.
Okay, so this was a bygone time.
Yes, and they were just like, oh, someone's been doing the naughty and killing people. But no, it was apparently the Aztecs, um,
Yes.
because they were all found to be rituals. Um, yeah, they were. This is a very cold case. I don't think this was. They're more than 1,000 years old. These remains.
Fair enough. But the idea that something that old and you could just fall into it, like who the
Yeah.
hell built their house on top of it?
You ever heard the phrase "Don't build your house on sand"?
Yes,
Obviously, in that story, the cavern wasn't included, so I guess anyone could easily do that.
insanity. You would have thought it would be a protected site
Mm.
if there was any inkling of knowledge that there
Yeah,
was
well, I mean, they found it there. They were just like, oh well, okay, sweet. Let's figure out what to do. Obviously, now it's protected, kind of.
hmm,
So I guess they'll just have to move.
yeah.
Lone, do you know the Oregon Trail?
By name.
So in the 1800s, in the Wild West, they moved from east to west along the Oregon Trail, and it was dangerous. Obviously, people died in many different ways, and one of those ways was dysentery. Now, what do you know of dysentery?
Absolutely nothing.
Well, dysentery is a disease normally created by bacteria, where you poop to death.
What?
Yep, it gives you near deadly diarrhea.
Deadly diarrhea.
Yes, and
Okay.
obviously it's not very common now.
Hmm.
However, a man is tweeting through his dysentery, but don't worry, it's for science. So he's underwent a trial for a vaccine for dysentery.
Is it are people still being plagued by this? Do we not have
Some
like
people are, but it's very, 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 very rare
okay.
because it's found in like contaminated water.
Yes. Oh, fair
Um,
enough.
so but obviously they haven't made the vaccine, and the scientists need a control group.
So they just got this guy and he's just said, yeah, I'll shit for
Him and a
3 days.
few others, they are going through full blown dysentery because there isn't a vaccine, and they volunteered. I think they get paid 7,000 US dollars.
Yo, I'm not saying I would do it, but I
For
might do it.
extreme, almost life-threatening dysentery.
I mean, I'm presuming like they have ways to stop you from dying.
Yes, hydrate the
It's like
ever-loving shit out of you and pray you don't die from dysentery.
you'll be fine, man. I'm pretty sure that nowadays they have a lot more knowledge as to. And to be quite honest, especially if it's on the Oregon Trail, probably you're dying because you can't get the attention you need.
Yes, normally, but it is still a deadly disease. So that's what they're working towards. So he stated that he was given a cloudy liquid, um, drank it, and then a few days later had just explosive diarrhea. Because obviously,
I'd
this,
laugh.
like I said, this is the test group, so not much is really changing for them. They're not getting the idea of a vaccine. They have to be the control to see if the vaccine is effective. They have to have a benchmark of seeing what people without the vaccine would experience.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Like it's all part and parcel, right?
Poor guy.
But I mean, I don't know. He's getting 700. He's getting
7 grand.
$7,000.
Yeah.
Like, you're all right. You'll be fine.
Well, there's another thing in the medical world that is also occurring, Lorne. So, have you ever wanted to be taller?
No, not really. I've been quite content.
I actually want to be shorter.
Hmm. I mean, that's fair. You are
So,
like on the lankier side.
so I want to be shorter because it would be better for roles
Yeah.
if I was shorter. But
Yeah.
some people really want to be taller, and there's a surgery that is occurring. And the next article goes into one person's experience with it. What do you know of limb lengthening surgery?
I don't know exactly how it works. I feel like I've heard it by name, but I know nothing in the process.
So, he was 5'7", and soon he'll be 5'10".
Yeah, I remember. I remember that headline.
So, he stated that he wasn't happy, which if he's not and he feels like he needs to go through this, then if that's what you need to do, so be it. It's a bad surgery, I think. So you break the person's leg,
Uh-huh.
put in a titanium plate, which then
Uh-huh.
expands as the bone heals, so it lengthens your leg.
Interesting.
Like, eventually, like, if people keep doing this, they'll just have exceedingly long proportions.
I was going to say, like, the problem here is that, sure, you're lengthening limbs, but unless you had stumpy limbs to begin with, you're going to look weird.
Yes. Like, do you not remember, like, oh god, I can't remember which place it is. The neck rings.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The constant neck rings which stretch the neck. It's very otherworldly.
Yeah, no, it's like, yeah, it's, I don't know, like you said, if somebody really is that desperate and they honestly think that's the way that their life improves, then sure, why not?
Mm.
But at the same time, it's like, you've got to be prepared to look like Slender Man at the end of this.
Yes. You'll appear in one of Hannes's indie games.
Yeah, because also as well, it's like, obviously it's only by a matter of 3 inches, so I imagine it's not going to be like the end of the world. But it's going to make like clothes shopping a little bit weird too.
It will. Like, the thing is as well, you're like incapacitated until you've fully healed. And I've never broken my leg. I've broken bones before, but I've never broken a leg, and I don't know how long it takes for a leg to heal.
Well, I've had like surgery to fix a hereditary problem with my feet, and the process was basically reforming my bone structure. So, in a similar type of vein, my feet were deliberately broken, my ankles, heels, and then they were reformed. So it's like I've been in this similar type of situation, but of course that way I opted to do 1 foot at a time. So
Oh,
I
interesting.
so that because they said, look, we can like speed up this process and do both at once, but obviously you'll be stuck. Um, and I said, no, I would rather have 1 foot so I can at least crutch around.
I Ooh, how long did one take to heal? So this is now a
Uh,
hypothetical
you
because
see, I can't.
I'd see where I would be.
Because the thing is, though, is that like I don't know. I could be wildly off because these operations happened
Yes,
when
it
I
would have
was
been a
like
while ago.
11 years old. Um, but I seem to remember 6 weeks for the initial healing, but then you had the rehabilitation afterwards. Because in those 6 weeks, you've not used that leg at all, so your muscle mass evaporates.
Yeah.
Like I get that cast off, and it's excruciatingly painful to stand on. It's not because obviously my bones are still broken. It's more so, no, I've got no muscle left in my leg.
You know
So
what? I I was thinking, like, I didn't think about the rehabilitation. I think I'd do the same as you. I was going to say both. That was my gut response, but I think you were in the right.
yeah, trying to rehabilitate two muscle lost legs is like that's gonna be hell.
Mm.
That's gonna be hell. You would at the very least be stuck on a Zimmer frame for quite a while, like
Well,
trying
on
to work up your muscle
it's
mass
a
again.
good thing you mentioned hell because now we're moving into animal news. I
Oh,
know. But the reason I mentioned hell loan is because a black cat named Jinx has been declared the mayor of hell.
all right, fair enough.
Like, look at this
Who had
cat.
the authority to do that?
So, what happens with this mayorship? You can apply, um, for just $100. You can become the mayor for not too long, like a week or so.
Right. Okay.
It's like more of an honorary position than you actually do anything.
Fair.
But yes, Jinx is the for this period of time. This cat Jinx has been declared the mayor of hell.
I'm all for it.
Would you vote for Jinx?
Sure, why not? I'm more likely to vote for the cat than probably any human being,
Those
to
eyes
be
are
honest.
wild. I've never seen a cat with these eyes.
Yeah, that's the mayor of hell difference, baby.
Ah, before becoming mayor, after becoming mayor.
Yeah, cat's seen shit.
Yeah, that's what happens when you become mayor. It's like how politicians age and get grayer and grayer hair.
Also, I don't think that's a real picture anyway. Because look at the warp at the background.
Ah, yeah, could easily be.
Yeah, that's been fish-eyed. Sure.
But yeah, Lorne, from cats to moose. So, where do you expect to see a moose?
Sweden.
What? I mean, in what, like, locale?
North.
Okay. Well, if your answer were, I guess technically you're partially right because a moose was spotted on a roof in a Polish shopping center.
I mean, that wasn't anywhere near, but
North is kind
fair
of like
enough.
up.
Right, okay.
So what happened with this moose? Um,
Right.
there was so on the shopping center. There's one of those multi-story car parks
Yeah.
with the spirally thing, similar to the Metro Center and various other bigger ones. Like there's one in Manchester called can't remember. Either way, so the moose just went up and up and up and up and up, and then jumped over the barrier and went onto the roof. And
Fair play.
obviously, it jumped over, and the leap was going downward, so it couldn't get back over. So it was stuck there until someone went and got it.
What do you mean got it?
When
Like
they
with a
had to
helicopter?
tranquilize it and get it away with a helicopter.
Yeah.
But like, how do you like imagine if you're taking your smoke break or something, and you go up on the roof to take a smoke break, and then there's a moose just chilling,
I wonder how the moose would react.
just go
I
growl.
was gonna say, you reckon it's just chill? You reckon it like kind of does that whole thing of like asking for help, kind of? Just like
I don't know. I mean, It
and nudges you.
it seems to be like if I mean hell, if it was wandering around in a multi-story car park, it's probably pretty chill with cars.
Yeah, because I don't know. I've seen moose like boot the fuck off, but I've also seen moose be like quite chilled.
Hmm.
So I've seen it. I've seen it all.
You've seen
Not
all the
like
moose.
personally, but like
Well,
I've seen what they do.
Lorne, do you snore?
Uh, I've been told by an equal amount of people yes and an equal no. So I don't think it's a common thing.
It's not always a guaranteed snoring.
No.
Well, a family has found out that the odd snoring noise are five bears hibernating under their house.
Right.
I
Underneath
guess
the house.
I guess, they were making porridge and then fell asleep. They found a hibernating spot just right. There is like a Goldilocks scenario style going on.
That's mad. 5 of them as well.
Yeah,
Oh my
five. It's a
God.
full family of bears.
Jesus. That must be terrifying.
I mean, I guess, but they figured
Bears
it out,
are
and
huge
they were,
fuckers,
they were,
man.
huh?
Bears are huge fuckers, man.
I like how ominous the mother bear pictured after her hibernation under the home.
Yeah, she's like, got any grapes?
That's your first thing. Got any grapes? Yo.
I was gonna say got any food, and then I was just like, I've got to finish this with grapes.
God, I've not thought about that in a while.
What year is it?
What, got any grapes?
Yeah.
God knows.
Let me see. Now that's a thing we can Google. Got any grapes? The Duck Song 2.
Two.
Go on. Give me a guess. Give me a year.
2006. Older?
No, I think you're going too far back.
Too far back. 2008.
Yeah. I think I've got this as 2009.
Ah, okay.
Wait a minute. Know your meme. Know your meme. Will tell
Know
you.
your meme. You're going on that site, are you?
Oh dear. Yeah,
Bless you.
2009.
Well, Lorne, you know who you shouldn't show that video to?
Who's that?
Well, this teenage gorilla, because this teenage gorilla is addicted to smartphones.
Oh,
So
I'm learning.
you're not allowed to have smartphones by this gorilla's cage, enclosure anymore, because it kept looking at screens of the visitors' phones and watching them,
Just,
and
yeah, it
spending
was
more and more
fascinating.
time watching the screens rather than interacting with other gorillas.
That's a yeah. I can hear
Hmm?
boomers right now going like, see, they're poisoning the
It's
young
what the
people's
screens
minds.
will do to you.
This is what they've already done to humans. The new generation's lost. I'm just like, that's fair, but we're not gorillas, you see.
We
There's
are
a lot
part
more to
of us are some lone apes together strong.
Mm. But it's also interesting, right? Because I mean, like it's a very interesting case study
Yeah,
as to what's going on in the gorilla's mind.
yeah,
Like,
it is.
is it kind of like that whimsical childlike nature of kids always being attracted to like colors and certain noise and stuff like that, or is it kind of a curiosity?
I feel it's a curiosity, like, because this is a teenage gorilla, so I'd think, I mean, I'm not an expert. I would surmise that it's interested in something new. It's learning what it finds interesting.
Mm.
And it's, because of that, and it's in the phase where it would be learning stuff primarily from parent.
Mm.
It's just learning stuff via its environment more than the idea of nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
But
No, it's interesting.
you know how birds, speaking of learning things, you know how birds mimic sounds?
Well, Yeah, certain birds.
Well, a cockatoo has been bought after discovering it likes to sing "Let the bodies hit the floor." Like,
Beautiful.
I've watched the video and I can't show you it because they include the song. But it puffs out its feathers that are on its adorning its head and going, "Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the body." It's so weird. It's so bizarre.
That's fantastic. The idea that like somebody else has then got that.
Yeah. And like he's just he like this bird just loves singing it. So all it does, like the dude's just walking through his house and he's like, "My bird's weird," and he's just the bird's just going, "Let the bodies hit the floor." It's like, So, Mr. Cockatoo, what did you say your owner did? Let the bodies hit. No, 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 no. That's just a song. We swear.
I mean, it's a perfect cover up.
True.
Maybe that was it. Maybe
What
he
did the
went
bird
out to
sing?
buy the perfect cockatoo.
Well, actually, speaking of cover, so this is some more history for you, Lorne.
Mm.
There was a trial years and years ago where the jury went around the house. So this was when they took a big long recess and they continued the trial the next day. But on the night time at the hotel, I believe it was, they did a séance with a Ouija board and supposedly contacted the victim, and they said, yes, this person's guilty. And when the judge found out, they had to dismiss the trial.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah, because they've been influenced by something that is considered like
but
inconclusive.
Lorne, however, if they had done the séance in the jury room where they deliberate in the courthouse, the judge can't say anything. Because a judge has no right to know what a jury discusses. So if they'd done it and used that as, their way of decision making, it would have been perfectly above board.
Right.
It's so wild. In the end, by the way, the person was found guilty after being let go the first time.
But yeah, but it is crazy. It's like no matter how you believe, it's like you can't possibly use that in a court law.
No.
It's like it's insanity.
I mean, some people do use spiritualism as evidence.
I mean, if the Ouija board was consulted in the courtroom, then it can be vetted, right? You can have like
it's in the jury room, so only where the 10 jurors meet.
Yeah, so it can't be used.
No, it can be used there.
Oh.
So it can be used as long as it's on the grounds, when they go and say, okay, go make your decision. If they go into the room, make their decision, they can do whatever they want there, how they decide. And the judge has no right to know. Even if they went to the judge, we used a Ouija board, the judge has no right to know. And
no, I'm sure there would be something in there where they could throw out the case. Because if they just straight up admitted, saying we used the Ouija board to come to this conclusion, it's like then you've been influenced by factors that weren't even in the case.
I mean, it's strange. I think there was another case years ago that used a parrot. The parrot said, "Yep," and just kept repeating that, and they sent him away.
I mean, like, but that's a thing with parrots. It's like at least you can use that because you know that the nature of a parrot is to mimic.
Yes.
Like if they have anything to say and that's like mirrored something that's obviously happened or that's heard in the past, then because an animal doesn't have an agenda, right?
Yes.
It's like it's just doing what it does.
Logically, yes.
I mean, obviously, there's no way for us to conclusively say that. It could be a whole Planet of the Apes situation and we're being played for fools, but
indeed. But yes, yeah. Lorne. Speaking of fools and silliness, we're moving on to... Now, I didn't know this was going to be a thing, but Lorne, are you a Barbie girl?
in a Barbie world.
Yes, exactly. So apparently, there's a Barbie movie coming out, but Aqua's Barbie Girl song won't appear in Margot Robbie's movie.
I'm not surprised because like if you like just listen to the lyrics,
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
yes, like
Well,
all of
Lorne,
it.
if you'd like, you could redeem channel points to have me do a dramatic reading of it,
Sure.
or a
I
or or a piece of it.
I will hit you with that when you least expect it.
I
But
see.
it's like, but it's like Aqua's song is very sexually charged,
Yes, I mean to be
and
fair,
it's
normally
also like
Barbie.
borderline. It's also borderline misogynistic,
Yeah, I mean
if not
Barbie
just
was kind
straight
of,
up.
but Barbie as a concept is a very strange thing. I mean, to be fair, Barbie has done a lot of stuff. She's been a doctor, she's been a pilot, she's been like a geneticist.
I mean, I feel like
Barbie cleaves through these jobs.
it's the kind of brand which obviously I can't say with any conclusiveness because I've not really interacted with the brand that much, other than seeing the adverts as a kid. But I feel like the brand evolves based on our our newfound morals as a
Yes,
generation.
I agree. So the
So
only
it's like
interaction I had with Barbie was I had a PlayStation 1 game called Barbie Explorer, which I may stream with Mike at some point, and it is dreadful. It is a dreadful game. It's so bad, Lone. I can't tell you how unbelievably bad it is. You know when like you're playing a game and there should be any kind of ambience,
mm.
it's dead silent.
Fair
It's
enough.
deathly silent. Some would say, Lorne, that would be a crime.
Or we'd
Uh,
finish the crime.
and well, there isn't any more crime,
You
Lorne.
lied
But
to me.
so this is more of a ruling. So in space, no one can hear you scream or commit murder. Well, Canada looks to prosecute crimes on the moon.
I mean, somebody's got it, right?
So they're technically it's only Canadian astronauts.
Well, yeah, because like because still their courts have no.
Yes, they still have, even though the moon is owned by the entirety of the world. No one nation owns the moon.
Mm.
Um, but like the moon, like if someone commits a crime, steals something, kills someone, you can now be tried by the Canadian court if you're Canadian.
Yeah, I mean, like, and rightfully so, to be honest. Like, if you've got a citizenship, you should be able to be charged for your actions by your nation.
Yes, I agree.
Like, so
I 100% agree.
So I would hope that more nations follow suit with this, just to make sure that people aren't going to space for a convenient murder.
God, convenient. That has to be thought out.
I mean, well, yes, about
The most
premeditated.
premeditated shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna make sure that me and my victim both graduate from astronaut school, so that we can go to the moon, where I'll kill him. So,
well,
but
Lorne, obviously theft is also a crime, and we're going back down to Earth for the final story. Apart from obviously, we have the traditional weird stuff from history section at the very end. So this is the final story of the week. And in the war, Lorne, American soldiers were hungry, going through Italy. And what do they see on the window shelf, cooling down by the window shelf? It's a birthday. It's a birthday cake, Lorne.
Oh.
For a little girl. And after all that time, they've finally returned her cake. Because she's 90 now, and when she was 13, she saw fighting, and some opportunistic Americans stole the cake that was cooling down on the windowsill.
What the hell?
So the American army have now replaced the cake that they stole all those years ago.
I mean, that's quite wholesome, I guess.
Is it?
I
Well,
mean,
they shouldn't have stolen a cake in the first place, but I guess so, yeah.
I mean, they'll just be arrogant soldiers, I guess. Like, in terms of a gesture from like the organization, it's probably pretty cool to turn around and say like, "Oh yeah, we're sorry, yeah, have your cake back."
It's like a little awkward to replace the stolen goods, but it makes me feel great.
Nice. Yeah, there you
Sergeant
go.
Peter Wallace, who handed over the dessert, said.
Yeah, see, she's happy. I wonder if any of that squadron's like still alive. You reckon? Because that would have been like the real story, is if there was a surviving member who then made the handoff.
I don't know, honestly.
I mean, it doesn't look like it based on that picture.
Not based on the picture, no. Happiness turned into disappointment later when the resources the American soldiers made off with it. Oh, her mother made the cake. Oh, that's so sad. Stop stealing cakes.
It's definitely sad for obviously the time, but you've also got to remember the hostilities of the time. It's the American soldiers of that generation were probably not going to think twice of just nicking a thing right there.
And there you go, Lorne. Just so we can go through the last section easier, I'm streaming in Discord just for you.
I got you.
So, do you remember famous characters throughout history? So let's look at Chewbacca from Star Wars, Shrek from Shrek. Like, what if they had original designs which are just dreadful?
I mean, you never know. They could turn out to be beloved.
Well, on this was the original Chewbacca design. One of them, anyway. Ghoul. Vampire Chewbacca.
Vampire. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's not... That ain't kosher.
Obviously, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. For the 2014 movie.
The crazy thing is that people still weren't happy with what they got in the end.
No, it's like how... I mean, to be fair, Sonic's original design for his movie.
The thing is, though, it's like, I can understand the lips on the turtles it's slightly weird, but it's nowhere near as bad as they made out.
Yes.
I actually think they got hard done by for their design.
Darth Maul?
Aye, that's a different take.
Looks like something from The Ring.
Yeah, they're not quite thematically correct.
Woody was originally a ventriloquist doll.
Oh my! Oh, that would have been creepy.
That would have been so horrendous. Just Tom Hanks going, "Howdy, Buzz." It's like, ugh.
Ugh.
The original mask. Ugh.
It's not that different.
It's not that different.
It's just more. It's more cartoony.
Hmm. Penguin's design for the Batman Returns.
Is that even different? Take off his top hat.
Well, it's just more framed, so like the way it moves, it's more angular, so it looks like a bird.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
It just looks so gremlin-y, man.
Obviously.
Oh, go on.
Avatar.
Yeah, this is more or less weird and just like it's early concept, right?
Yes. Like, you know, they're making a new Avatar movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Almost 20 years after.
Yeah, because I had a discussion about this, and I'm still so surprised that even ignoring the inflation, that Avatar still beats out even like Avengers Endgame.
It's wild.
It's the wave of hype it must have rode back then is actually crazy. Beautiful Sauron.
Yeah, one of the original things of Sauron. Also, because obviously Sauron's an elf.
Yeah.
You know, seeing Sauron in human form. The Meanie Genie from Aladdin.
The Meanie Genie.
So yeah, the idea they had lots of concepts for the genie.
What? And one of them was that he was a meanie.
Yeah, the original
Uh,
Green Goblin looks hellish from Spider-Man.
you know what? If you showed me that design for the Goblin just in a reboot, like if Tom Holland started fighting a guy who called himself the Green Goblin and he looked like that, I'd accept it.
I like it.
It's just another design, right? You always see like radical redesigns.
Mm. Joker from The Dark Knight looked like fucking Leatherface.
No, but it looks more traditional.
Yes.
Looks
Well,
much
it
more
looks like
traditional.
one of the more horror Batmans. This is the weird shit, Lorne.
Yoda was a
One of
no.
the original designs for Yoda. Just one. There's another one on the next article.
All right.
That's wild.
That's just insanity. You just literally picked up a garden gnome. ET looks a lot less friendly.
Yep. E.T. very evil looking. It does look very animalistic for Optimus Prime.
Yeah, he's got a snoot.
Megatron.
He also's got pupils.
Let's
Is
boot
it
the
is it just
snoot.
me or do you see pupils looking to the right hand
Kind
side?
of like you see this little dot here. You mean?
Well, to the right. He looks like he's looking. Yeah, right there.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah,
He
kind
looked.
of. Yeah.
He looks like he's looking off to the right.
And the Dementors from Harry Potter, looking like something out of fucking Pan's Labyrinth.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're all cloaked zombie skeletal, fucking
Yeah.
nightmarish stuff.
Right. Time to skim through the last couple, then we're done for the week, Lorne.
Aye.
Obviously,
There's
if you haven't,
35.
I know. Well, we'll skip. A few of them have repeated.
Okay.
So obviously, you know, couple of things from Stranger Things.
Uh,
The original
watched it.
Animaniacs, very yellow, got jaundice it seems.
Wait, there was 4 of them?
Yes, there were
Yeah.
4.
Oh,
Spacky.
look at the top. Look at the top. The original.
Oh, the
concept, they
ducks,
were
yeah.
blue. Yeah.
Well, they were originally ducks. Like, I love the
Yeah.
Animaniacs. I think they're incredible.
It's been a long time since I've even interfaced with them.
So these two, this one here, I think he eventually got merged with Wacko.
Yeah, by the
So
looks of it.
those two
At
merged.
at least in terms of body language.
Yeah, they both merged together. Bane looking like some sort of horrendous creature.
Oh my god.
The original Megamind does look like Galactus. I do have to say that. Yeah.
Hmm.
God, fucking hell. Groot and
I'm-
Rocket.
I'm glad they got the redesign.
One of the concept arts for Yoda. This was the other one I was telling you about.
At least it's better than the initial.
It's
gnome
better.
look.
It's better than the bloody gnome.
Yeah.
The Iron Giant looked very goofy.
Yeah, incredibly so. I feel like you'd lose a lot of the storytelling
Mhm.
from looking that goofy.
I like this design for Ultron.
Hmm.
The Ashura thing looks all right, but I prefer that one.
Oh right, these are the
Inside Out.
over because they renamed them as well.
X-Men Apocalypse, Jean Grey, originally
Well,
Harrison.
the concept was like, hey, how about we just make it like the comics? And they were like, no.
Yep, the original design for a Chocobo.
Lee.
That looks
Just naked.
horrendous.
Absolutely. Naked chicken.
Kind of looks like a bomb. He looks like a walking bomb. I don't like it. I really don't like
Yeah,
Baymax's original design.
it's that screw on the front.
I don't know. Ignore Buffy. Ursula. Some of these designs are alright. That one's okay. I like that one.
Mm.
Craft. Dorothy. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts. I don't know. It looks like a chainsaw.
I was gonna say it's.
He's
like,
also got a tail.
He's meant to be like a lion kid.
Kind
mean,
of,
funny
yeah.
enough,
He's
he
got a
does. He
crown, he's
does.
got a chainsaw looking thing, he's got a tail, he's got like a lion here.
This honestly looks to be concept art from before the Disney partnership.
It could have been. Wow,
Because
that would have
look,
been wild.
because look at the keychain on the blade.
Yeah.
It's not
Ha
the
ha!
Mickey Mouse icon.
Oh boy! Futurama, original monsters. Just Jack Sparrow just chilling there.
Wait, what the fuck?
What's wrong, Lon?
Humanoid dinosaurs.
With a gun
What
arm,
was
by the way.
what was wrong with dinosaurs?
Well, maybe they wanted to make a humanoid dinosaur, Lon. Oh my god, look at Gordon Freeman.
Pissed off lumberjack, apparently.
I thought he was more like
Very
a really angry
square
dwarf.
head.
Kratos. I like the concept for Kratos. I feel...
The concept for Kratos is far too Dark Souls.
Well, the thing with this, I feel
That's-
like this isn't memorable. This,
No, that's what I mean. It's
This
like,
is
it looks
memorable.
like
This is not. This is good. It's good art. This isn't. This is memorable though.
you look like you look like a run-of-the-mill playable character from Dark Souls. In
Yes.
The concept.
The Bald Queen. Just the alien.
Ah.
Obviously, yes. Shrek's original design. Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Look at
Yeah,
this
I'm very
bad
glad
boy.
we got. Very glad we got the new one.
Concept art for it. Concept art for Zazel. Yeah, one of my favorite games, BioShock. I didn't realize the little sister. I have the art book. Maybe I didn't go through the art book close enough.
What the hell? What the hell were they meant to be? Some kind
Like
of
rats
rabbits
or something, like little rat creatures.
Ugh.
And finally, the minions.
Oh dear God.
Hellish monsters. But yes, Lorne, that is the end of weird news this week.
Oh, there we go.
I know. Obviously, if I was going to see if Hannes was on, but Hannes is away. Otherwise, my plan was to, in my sickened state, record something with him. But maybe that is for another time.
Is he enjoying a nice evening somewhere?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Is War Hannes. But yes, thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. Anyone who chimed in and watched, I hope you join us on our next adventures. Obviously, I'll be recording with Lone and Lee and Ethan and Mike as well at some point. But yes, and thank you for Lone for joining me yet again on Weird News.
Hey, no worries. Happy to be here.
Indeed. But from me and Lorne, we shall catch you all later. Goodbye.
Peace.